Hello, and welcome to the final tech tip for 2024. I wanted to come to you with something specific to the new year, so I thought I would talk about cleaning up and organizing your Google Drive. So I came into my Google Drive, and when I come in, this is what happens when I come to my home screen. If I go to My Drive, I'm going to get something different. So I want to show you what happens when I click on My Drive, because rather than organizing things by how recently I've accessed them, that just organizes the things however Google decides to organize them. Right now it's sorting by last opened by me. So you can sort in your Google Drive by all of these. So I can sort by last modified by me, and last opened. And I can make that so that this is the most recent thing that I've opened. And one of the things that I'm going to recommend in cleaning up is to create a new folder. Okay, to do that, you're going to go to new folder, and I would call this Archive 2024, which I've already created one. So you would click Create, and then it would be here. So now I have an Archive 2024. And in this, I can take and just drag anything that I want, right? So I can just drag from here to here, right? So some of these, like I know, are going to be archived here because I'm not using them anymore. And like this one, this was shared with me, so I don't need to move it, right? But some of the other ones I might need to, right? So that is definitely one of the things that I can do. Like if I scroll down here, I would say all of these are things that I can just move to my archive. So I went ahead, drug those into my archive, and I'm not going to see those when I go to my main Google Drive anymore. Okay. Another way you can clean up is also you can filter by, and you can come up here and you can filter by date. Okay. So I actually want to do a custom date filter, and I want to do before. I want anything that was before December of last year, because I'm going to put that in my 2003 one. So if it hasn't been modified since before this date, I can definitely put it in an archive folder, right? So location, I only want my drive. I don't want the things that other people have shared with me that are not located on my drive, and I only want the ones that are owned by me. So I'm going to go ahead and search. And that's going to give me a whole bunch of stuff. Like right away, I see this mock data. That's for something I was practicing. I can totally just delete that, right? But some of this other stuff I can just move, right? Like honestly, all of this stuff. And by the way, I'm holding down the Shift key between those so that I can select them all. And then because I don't want to move this folder because it's a Google Classroom folder, I'm going to go ahead and actually, I don't want that one either. So I'm going to switch to the Control key, and that lets me select on individual ones. So I can right click to move. So I can come up here, go to Organize, Move, and put those in my new archive folder, right? So I can move those to my archive folder and work through things that way. Another thing that you can do to keep you a little bit more organized, and I'm going to go back to my drive now, is you can create your folders with certain colors and emoticons to make, or emojis, so that you can find them, right? So for example, for me, let's say the literary magazine is definitely an important one. Tech tips are important ones. So let's say that I want to have that folder, although these are ones that are shared with me. So these are in other locations. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to do this Gift of the Magi folder, even though it's not really a main folder that I would care about. But I can right click and come here, and under Organize, I can star it. So starred is where I keep my important things. So most of the time, if I'm going to something that's in starred, it is important. It is something that I have saved for whatever reason. Although sometimes I could probably unstar, like this one. Since I'm not really working in English, I don't need the historical narrative handouts anymore. This photo shoot, not really that relevant anymore because it is older, right? But a lot of these are really important things that I access all the time, okay? So starring things is one way that you can organize things. You also see this Frederick Douglass folder. We've made this one orange. You can right click. Actually, I won't do that because that's Allie's folder. Let's go to essay writing and organize, and I'm going to make that one red. So that makes that folder red, so it makes it stand out. The other thing that you can do is you can go to organize and, or I'm sorry, you can just go in and rename and come up here and you can put a emoticon in here. Now, if you don't have this, this is just an app that lets me do emoticons. So essay writing, I'm going to put writing in here and pick an icon that makes sense to me. Oh, no, I like the writing hand. Okay, so I'm going to copy that and put it right here. There are definitely websites. I'll post a link to this extension, the emoji keyboard, but there's actually a website you can go to where you don't have to have anything loaded on your computer and you can just copy emojis. I press OK, and now that has that little icon. Now, one thing you should know is if you put an emoticon in, it's going to make it come up at the top of your list when you're in your drive, right? So sometimes that can be annoying. It just depends on how you feel about it. Like for me, having Frederick Douglass documents come up first is very good. It just depends on how, how you want to organize things. So just be aware that's going to put it out of alphabetical order. Okay. And let's see, what else did I want to say? So a bonus tip is that you can create workspaces. Okay. So you can create workspaces that have your things that you need to check in with on a regular basis, right? So I have a daily checks workspace. So this is one way that you can make it so that when you are going to work on this thing, you have everything for it. So I'm going to go ahead and create a workspace, and I'm going to call this updates. Okay. And the files, you can only add 25 files, right? Now it's already suggesting something, but I'm going to come over here, and one of the things that I update is the FD Apex tracker. So I'm going to add that, right? And to do that, I actually use this spreadsheet, the LMS. And what else do I use to update? I use the star one, right? So I can come up here and search for star. These are all spreadsheets that I regularly update and put that one there, right? And then I have some, and I can go into this workspace and say, okay, I'm going to do updates. I'm going to go to this workspace and have them all ready, right? So I click done, and now I have a workspace for updates, and all of those spreadsheets that I use for those updates are there. Doesn't it just have to be spreadsheets if you have something that you're doing? And you can also always right click and remove a workspace. I'm going to remove this one because I'm not really using it anymore. And you can see how easy that can be. So I hope that you'll take some time as you start this new year to start off fresh and do a little organizing in your drive. Let me know if these tech tips help. I'm going to try them out myself because I'm not that good at organizing my drive. But remember, when in doubt, you can always search your drive, and you have all of these advanced search features, right? So you can definitely use these to help you find things when they do get lost in your drive. Take advantage of the archiving feature and start the year fresh. Have a great break, and I will see you all in 2025.